Hi everybody, happy Wednesday. I hope the day finds you well, since it's Wellbeing Wednesday and all that. Today I'm just going to talk a little bit about self-care. Self-care is one of the primary things I focus on and teach as a holistic therapist. Self-care is not, I think I touched on this last Wednesday too, but self-care is not selfish. It is not a big, it doesn't have to be a big hoo-ha. Today's word of the day. It doesn't have to be a big deal. It doesn't have to be a big expense. It doesn't have to be a huge, I think I talked about it on Self-Care Sunday. That's when I talked about it. Obviously, Self-Care Sunday. It doesn't have to be this like huge, massive deal around big events, expensive events, spa days and pampering sessions that feel out of your reach, particularly if you're like a hands-on mum and have tons and tons of things to do and loads of responsibilities, or you work full-time and you care for your elderly parents, or you're in lots of groups that you are supporting and caring, voluntarily and things like that. Like literally millions, billions of people do masses and masses of extra things with their lives that mean that this notion that self-care has to be a big deal is extreme and inhibits, particularly I think maybe in the Western world where we're a bit out of touch with our hearts and each other, a bit disconnected. We kind of get in this place of thinking self-care is something that's extracurricular, outside of the normal day. And I think that when I'm here on a day like today, Wellbeing Wednesday, to share tips and tricks for nurturing your well-being from a holistic point of view, this can be like a physical thing, like some physical support, wisdom, care and advice, but it also can be holistic. It can be, we're not very much just physical. We are like mind and energy and emotions and spirit and light and all those beautiful magical things too. And one of the simplest, easiest ways you can look after your well-being consistently on a day-to-day basis is to find small ways to nurture every part of yourself every day. And when you do that, when you take little things and really do them with mindfulness and your heart and care and love, like heartfelt love for yourself, then you can build up like this bank of inner love and inner nurturing that just makes you feel like on your wildest days, or if a really impactful, stressful thing happens to you, you can have the reserves of emotional and mental energy to see you through the challenge and back into a more spacious way or time for you in your life. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about little ways, little tips and tricks that you can nurture your whole well-being every day. And you can take one of these and you can run with it. You can take all of these. These are things that I believe you can do every day, even when you have got 6 kids, when you've got 3 full-time jobs, when you've got one full-time livelihood that you're building and creating from the ground up, and 3 home educated children. That'd be me. when you have like sick family members who you live with, who you're caring for, or when you are an adult in school doing something that you will further your mission and purpose, or that you feel really called to do. Like, you know, lots of adult students go off and do nursing or midwifery or social care, and because that's come in as their like part of their calling in life. And if you're doing that, you're like 40 and going through school of some sort, it can be a little taxing and draining on your energy, because that's not where we normally would be at that stage of our lives. So I'm going to start with something for the physical, because I'm going to work my way up. So if you've watched any of my other videos, my belief is that when we nurture our spiritual health, if we give all our focus and care and attention on our spiritual health, we actually have everything else begins to fall into place without us actually having to work hard at the rest of that. And that means when we realise that we are connected to the divine, we are connected to all things. And when we then begin to sit in a place of that connection and looking to that energy force for supporting our lives, then we can then find space for our emotions to be felt, all of them. And then when we start to process our emotions, particularly if we've got trauma going on, then our mental health improves, because as we process our emotions and we begin to like feel them and clear any storage of them that's hampering us, then our mind we begin to be able to reprogram the mind monkeys that may be telling us bad things about ourselves. And when we do all that, we shift the energy and we clear in our mind, and then lots of physical things improve, even disappear, although I'm not allowed to say that, but physical things can be healed too once you do all of these other things. So I'm going to work from the physical, because why not? My water's over there. At this point, I'm supposed to pick up a glass of water and go, make sure you drink some water today. But my glass I've left over there. Okay, I'll get it. Okay, water. My first and primary tip for self-care that you can do anywhere, anytime, pretty much anywhere, anytime, because there's always extenuating circumstances that make that really hard. But I'm going to assume that if you're here watching this video on a device of some sort, that you have access to clean drinking water, because most people who don't have access to clean drinking water are not likely to be here watching this on this mobile phone, and they need maybe some other support that's out there in the world. And maybe one day I'll be a wealthy billionaire who can go out there and give everyone clean water, but until that day I am here supporting you on your journey. So water. Just take some time to make sure that you hydrate. This is not just drink more water, drink 2 litres of water a day, or any of that bullshit. I know my dad can't swear. That we may be put on us by the diet industry or by fitness gurus. This is about knowing that we are a big part of us is these similar molecules to these water molecules. It's a slight difference, but similar molecules to these water molecules, and that energy is infused when we're hydrated. That it's kind of a big deal if you want to maintain the rest of yourself, your energy, your cells, your mental clarity, that you be hydrated. And honestly, I can say if you feel physically tired all the time, maybe try hydrating. If you feel lack of clarity mentally, maybe try hydrating. Maybe if you feel like, yeah, drink loads of water, and you maybe have even had tests to check for other things, because, you know, I'm not a doctor, go seek medical advice if you're really worried about anything. But if you've done that and you still feel like you're thirsty or you're dehydrated in some way, then maybe it's not just the water that's a problem, because sometimes we flush out all of the good stuff by overhydrating. So you can add a little pinch of salt to it, or you can do water infusions with fresh fruit and vegetables, which I absolutely love. Cucumber and strawberry water infusion. I love that, especially in the summer. Just got to check the weather because it's been a bit iffy here in Cumbria in the last couple of days. Weird weather. It's Cumbria. Like, I grew up here. It could be snowing here while everyone else was in a heat wave, but hey ho. Okay, it never snows. It's too close to the sea. But that's a whole side note. Hydrate. Hydrate with something that tastes good and feels good. You're not hydrating if you're drinking coffee or alcohol. You're the complete opposite. So when I say hydrate, and maybe not with water, we're talking hydrating fluids. So nothing with artificial sweeteners in, nothing with taurine and caffeine in. Make sure it's something that's powerful. Herbal teas can be amazing. A little spot of honey, because honey is it operates in a different way to sugar when it enters the system, and it's life-giving as well. It's life-giving to the bees. They depend upon it. So hydrate, because you can do that, and you can do it in a way that's nurturing, that's quick. I would then say, if you're going to hydrate, find at least one moment of your day to really, really feel and taste that water. Okay, water doesn't taste of anything. Okay, well, put some fresh fruit in it. Put a slice of lemon in it. But does it really not taste of anything as well? Like, is there like something in there that you could just go, yeah, there's something in there? And sometimes when I've not had a drink for a few hours and I like realise I'm actually quite thirsty and I go and drink it, it's like, oh, it's like nectar from the gods. It's so amazing. Take some time to really nourish yourself with it. Like, see it as the hydrating product that it is, the hydrating, self-nourishing care that you really need in that moment. And when you do that, you actually are infusing it with the love that you maybe are feeling you need and you need support of. So that's it. That's the physical. Mentally, I could go on about this for a long time. Mentally, often it's words that in our head. I think, was it last Wednesday's Wellbeing Wednesday, which was all about the words that we use and say nice things about yourself. Excuse the seagulls. The seagulls are trying to say nice things about you. The seagulls are amazing. Tell yourself something nice about you. And if you're one of those people who feels or finds that there's that little niggling voice inside that goes, that's not true. If you say something like, I am beautiful, I am amazing, I am awesome, I am powerful. If those affirmations don't ring true to some part of your mind, that's where a different expression of those affirmations can come in. So trying something like, I choose to see myself as. Which one of those things shall we choose? I choose to see myself as awesome. I choose to see myself as having potential. I choose to see myself as having the ability to change and grow. I choose to see myself as healing. I choose to see myself as growing and expanding into the best version of myself. When we use these kinds of expressions rather than just plain and simple I am affirmations that maybe some part of us is going to say, no, that's not true, our mind begins to be reprogrammed. And when we see these things like Might be touching a little bit on the spiritual here too, but if we begin to see these things as like, I am part of the energy of the universe, I am part of the creation, that, you know, I'm part of the same thing actually that the earth is made of, and that the house I'm in is made of, and that the water I'm drinking is made. We begin to see that we are part of those things as well. Then we can begin to reprogram our mind with things like, I'm part of the source creation of everything that is around me, and that means that I too am source creation. I too am part of the divine. And we can begin to reprogram our minds with those sorts of affirmations and that sort of energy. So say something nice about yourself. If you dare to go and do it in the mirror, even better. Like, I actually did do it in the mirror this morning when I went to go brush my hair, and the brush was wet, so I didn't brush my hair because I straighten my hair and I don't want to get it wet. So, and it was just like, you know what, your hair's perfect as it is. In the mirror to myself. It was like, actually, yeah, you know, I can see that about myself. So spend a little bit of time just looking at something or telling yourself something nice about yourself. Mental. Emotions. What can we do for our emotions today? Acknowledge any sticky emotions that you're feeling. If you're feeling angry or a little bit sad or a little bit anxious, that's okay. Name that. My number one tip for emotions would be to just do a couple of rounds of tapping, you know? Well, even though I've got some sticky feeling emotions today, I choose to accept who I am. Even though I've got some sticky feeling emotions today, name the emotions, by the way, I choose to accept who I am. Even though some of my emotions that I'm feeling today aren't very good, I choose to love and accept who I am. These sticky emotions, name them. These sticky emotions, I choose to feel them. I know I'm safe to feel them, and it's okay to feel them. And now I'm going to tap to help process them and allow them to move through my energy body, so that I can allow myself to move forward in body, mind and spirit. Very simple. Do it over and over. Begin to feel a little bit better about yourself. Process your emotions. 5 minutes of tapping a day. My emotional tip for the day. Definitely. And spiritually, depends on where you are with this whole spiritual concept. If you're like, don't believe in maybe energy in the same way that I do, or maybe you feel super triggered by the concept of God still because you've maybe escaped religion of some sort, or if you just don't know what to believe, take it this way. Again, you are made up of the same energy as everything else that you see around you. You are made up of the same molecules that have always been here. And if all you do for your spiritual health is close your eyes and come into your heart and take some breaths, that can be a spiritual practice for you. If you're a little bit more spiritually inclined, you might want to go a little bit deeper with that and spend 5 or 10 minutes in a kind of meditative state, meditative pose, maybe do some candle gazing or just breathing and allowing the breath to be what it is, a channel of energy, breathing in and out. Maybe you want to do a little bit of a spiritual practice with some cacao or some other sage, incense. I've got incense here in the background. If you can see smoke around it, it's incense behind my phone. something, allow that moment in time to be your connection to all that is. Feel that connection, ground into the planet too, because the planet's spiritual too. Don't just get up here and think this is where you're spiritual. You are, after all, a being of the earth. You are here to be connected to this planet at this time. If you didn't come to be that, you'd not be here. You'd be on some ninth dimensional plane somewhere. You're here to be physical too, to ground to the planet. Maybe that can be your spiritual practice. Maybe your spiritual practice is actually to go and walk outside in the grass barefoot and touch a tree, touch grass. Maybe that can be your spiritual practice. If you don't believe in spirit, that can be a spiritual practice. It really can, to just sit and be on the grass. So yeah, that's it. Just do a little bit of something for each part of yourself, and do that every day, and you build up these reserves of inner calmness, mental clarity, and a compassion for yourself to go through whatever life events may be hurled at you, so that you can navigate through them. Put it into practice. See how you feel. And let me know below. And thank you for watching. And if you've got anything you'd like to add, or any questions you'd like to ask, or anything that you'd like to see me talk about on Wellbeing Wednesday, when the relevant day comes up, I will do that. Take care, and I will see you all again very soon. Much love, and keep shining. Bye.